T1's going to have a little bit of a path in here with the smoke, but it's going to be difficult because Falcon is just raining bullets towards him. TGLTN finds raining, and Wenbo goes down to Levanta inside the apartments.
Oh, that is just so tough for T1. Not really much you can do at this point, as Ian at least manages to get to the shack. And TGLTN, oh, he's got so many mortars. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity, and here they come. They will start to land. We know trigonometry is a thing. Let's see where they go. Just a little bit outside.
But all the damage is still being done and have been done, and if they're inside this concrete shack, they're not going to be able to blow that away. So this could be a defining game for the catch-up onto VP if Falcons gets a little bit of love. If a slight corner of the compound is still in this next shift here, this could be the catch-up game that they need. But it's difficult with all the teams coming in. Gustav is getting closer here. He's going to have some blue zones. He's going to be deploying towards T1 that Ian and Type is inside.
Going to get a good bounce there for T1.
That's great.
The second one's right on top of where it needs to be. Type will have to run out. He'll get knocked a little bit low, but they do have dips to play, and that is where that destructible terrain comes in so handy.
Sure, they're in right now, but they might have to run in the open with all the apartments still being in. Genji, Navi's going to have a fight. Vitality has 2 apartments ahead of them that they probably don't know right now is completely safe. And now Falcons is setting up shop here. They're going to be using the mortar to make some playable space inside this next circle here. Let's see where we land up. It's going to be playable, but there's not a lot of cover. There's no rocks, more than a few trees.
Fortunately for them, they do have plenty of cars left, so they can kind of add to that hard cover. Gustav's going to send it on over as the next mortar will fall. They're trying to play around the shed, and those couple of dips that they've created for themselves. They know that Ian and Type are still there for T1.
Oh,
they are keeping eyes on this. This long-range smoke. I think this is mostly just
more trigonometry.
Yeah, no, this is smart. This is keeping T1 concealed so that they can't just free farm shots on the Falcons while they make the move. So heads up play.
Straight on them.
So good.
So smart. And this is where you have to realize and think, how are we going to approach this? Can we get a slither of this next circle? Or are we just going to have a fight with GK, because that's where there's some more points available. Utilities being deployed. That's going to do a lot of damage onto Falcons. They're going to try to get safe, and GK is already really close. So they're going to be spending all their utility to try to get some knocks onto Falcons.
Oh, if that gets into the shack, no, it's going to bounce just out. And GK's Songjang will get taken down. Gustav using the hard cover from the vehicle to keep himself safe. And they're holding GK at bay for now. EJ taking a lot of damage here. Twisted have now looked over in this direction as well. The smoke's the only thing keeping GK alive here. They're starting to run low on utility, you have to imagine, but they still have some left in the bag, and they're going to start sending it now. Shrimzy will get inside the shack just in the nick of time.
And now it's about reinforcing his stun grenades are coming in too. Sure, they lost a player, but they still have utility, and shots are coming in. Parkbro gets TGLTN down now, and Falcon's gonna have to turn heads.
Just so many grenades in the bag for GK, and Falcons tried to survive the onslaught, but it was just too much in the end. Shrimzy will find one, he'll find two. Shrimzy staying alive, keeping Falcons into it, while Kickstart trying to provide him some support from range. Shrimzy is gonna go down to the blue zone in the end, and it is all done for GK. Kickstart, the last player left alive for Falcons. Big fights happening all around. Falcons trying to fight their way in on the northwest. They've got Virtus Pro, they've got Twisted Minds all looking over in their direction. The mortars are being sent by Virtus Pro. They're going to do some damage, but they're not going to get the knock onto Shrimzy. Another one falls.
Yeah, just poking, just knocking at the door, trying to have an impact, trying to get those reses and utility used out. Gustav being on second res is having quite the impact here. Nixie getting picked up here by Corexi as they drive away. Shots damaged up, but he actually jumps into the back seat where you're a little bit more exposed. That's something that's also unexpected, so they both know that it's teams that's worth to chase down, especially after Falcons has hit 70 points so far in this game.
Yeah, Falcons' clock is definitely ticking, and Virtus Pro, they have nobody else in this lobby to really be concerned about other than Falcons, but TGLTN will win that 1v1 against Beamy. Stays alive with 3 HP, but Nixie will spot him down, and that'll be it for Tig. Not flush just yet, but Corexi, that's the problem. Ian was taking shots into their back, kind of forcing their hand, and now Virtus Pro, they find themselves down to 2.
Lou steals Corexi even here now. Kickstart goes down to Nixie. Nixie gets so much damage done to him. Turns around, and Twisted Minds is third parting this fight completely. Shrimzy goes down to the blue, and now it's just down to Gustav. What can he do? Is he going to deny? Is he going to do something? Maybe he can do a drive-by. He has bandages. It's going to heal him just a little bit here, but it's going straight towards Lukarux, and he is ready for him. Shots come in and connect. Nixie gets Tickleton and Gustav on the bleed out, and Falcons is out in 12th place.
Falcons just outside of zone right now. They know they have to deal with T1. AGAL does get eliminated in the end as Virtus Pro continue to reset. We see that helicopter coming through. That was an E pickup popped by Geeke, but ain't no way they're taking that, right? They still have to find a way inside the zone, however, from the north. Here comes the push from Falcons.
Yeah, utilities being deployed now from Falcons here. Blue zones. Luke has to heal, and now Nate's coming in to follow up here. That went out. It hit the other side. So unfortunate. Now defensive utilities being deployed here as well. The circle is still on top of the compound here, so they have plenty of time to fight here. You have to have the really well-placed utility to try to get those knocks.
Damage coming through on the Liquid, but no knocks for Falcons. But they at least open the door. They're able to get in closer. Flashbang from Alo. He's going to go and try to turn the corner, but Shrimzy's waiting for it. He gets the knock. He gets the flush immediately following. So Alo maybe a little bit ambitious on that flashbang peak. The rest of Falcons will reset, have to remove themselves here off of that blue zone, but the grenade will take down Purdy Curdy. Now Team Liquid falling apart.
And now utilities being deployed from Twisted Minds. They know that Falcons is that next team to try to chase, as they are in 3rd place. Just 16 points behind currently. It is doable. Example finds Gustav. He drops a nade. That could be it's an immediate flush on him and does some damage to Kickstart too. The point man with the Groza and 3 gear.
Super unfortunate timing there for Falcons as Luke 12 will go down.
Drop shot
and flush. Cowboy will try to return the favor. Gets Shrimzy, but Kickstart is going to push with that Groza and will finish off Team Liquid.
We have 6 teams left now, and placement points start stacking up. Whoa, what a great headshot from Shrimzy.
Shrimzy just shredding him from range. And now they'll continue to make their way. They're actually going to make their way over towards the GAM side. So TGLTN will get at least a foothold while Shrimzy is just making that mini do work right now. Almost 600 damage for himself so far. As
Na'Vi could also maybe get some of the kills where Falcons is trying to deny the chase. 83 points, 22 points ahead of Twisted Minds.
Just keeping themselves separated from the rest of the pack right now while also doing their best to try to do the impossible and catch up to Virtus Pro. TGLTN, the last player left alive. He's got some hard cover. He's got the deployable shield, but GAM is 4 strong. They've managed to get the revive onto their knock player, but you see the damage coming through here for Tig. He's causing problems.
Clarice gets Vicious down to just 1 man standing as TGLTN gets some shots towards Doc Juice, but he does go down to the blue zone here. A point denied towards Na'Vi and GAM.
No points so far for VP, so this is all Nixie just trying to stay alive. Falcons know who's there. They want him down and out, and they got the BRDM, and they are on the hunt. Vitality actually crashes the other side of it as well. All the squads in the hunt trying to find something for the championship, have eyes on the VP, and finally, VP don't find points.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time. And now, as the Falcons, you got to be licking your lips thinking we've got an opportunity. They're doing damage here and there. Duckmai as well getting in there. Tycon keeping his eyes on towards the Full Sense members to keep them corralled.
Big blow-up opportunity for Full Sense if they can survive, but VC's just been on a climb and 13 kills and more counting. Oh, the Panzer doesn't quite connect. Levante trying to get the shots out of Gustav. He does manage to pick him up, and now Falcons nowhere to go. They just have to run right in between Full Sense and Vitality both. That is big for VC, who's got control of the south. Nades and everything just being thrown right out of Full Sense to keep some control on the angle, but Vitality now trying to leave their cubbies and on the hunt for Falcons.
Oh man, this is on a knife's edge for the Falcons. That BRDM is going to explode, so they're not going to have the safety of it to use anymore. Smokes are down to at least hopefully buy them a little bit more time.
They're just trapped. They can't go to the south. They can't run to the circle. They're just having to weather this and hold the best that they can. Tig's trying to creep out and find more, but you can see it's instantly punished. Now Molotovs galore just being dropped on top of him. And that is just one cooked Falcon with Tig having nowhere to go. Kickstart in a ton of trouble. Trying to say maybe he can get more out of it. At least finds 1 more point, putting it in touching distance of VP.
That was a hell of a grenade from Kick. He did a ton of damage with it. Fortunately able to get the point for Falcons. Desperately need everything they can get here. So now Kick just trying to stay alive, but Levante not going to allow it.
Shadow doing the same, but they ran right into the Falcons. Remember, Falcons just kind of running down on foot. Shadow doesn't, at least has a vehicle. Get a little bit further into this, but I think that Falcons just might want those vehicles and might start chasing after Shadow.
Control over this eastern edge at the very least temporarily. He'll have the safety of these shelters. Gustav knows that there's a player in there, so thinking about the grenade, but Cessna dug in the back.
Gustav better be careful on the peak. They also don't want to do too much damage to the car, so wouldn't be surprised if they try to avoid going for the tires. Actually, they don't care. Just throw the nade right back behind it. Setsuna in some trouble. He has to run forward, runs right out, does get the knock. Bold play, does at least get 1 point before he goes down, and it's on to Shrimzy of all people. Look at this weird thing they've got going on. Falcons got to run to the circle. They get a knock onto Tycon. But now Tycon feeds the information over to Pau. So Pau's going to try to sneak over here. It looks like he was maybe trying to backstab onto the Falcons. Remember, Falcons trying to see if they can catch up the VP. VP's in a pretty decent spot in the circle, while Falcons just got to chase. Gustav not going to let it happen, though. So Falcons getting both players of Vicious on opposite sides of the circle.
He is looking to find some entry into this circle, but again, there aren't great options. Maybe you can get some kills, has the AK at the ready. Oh, switches over to Mark 12. Falcons trying to make the smoke bridge.
This doesn't feel good. I think they spotted. Nade's gonna roll forward. There you go. Tig gonna find another one.
Akan is kind of watching it there, but there's some smokes over here. Some noise being made though, and now it's danger close. Geekay on guard.
Good big round, but exchanged. It's gonna be Park Pro that gets the knock on to Gustav. Gustav at least takes down Akan. Now Falcons, where do you go? Crossfire now being set up. Gam taking shots at Kickstart. He's just trying to cover any movement for the rest of Falcons to see if they get next to Gustav. But great shot comes out from Songjon, hits it, and now Falcons in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the links there for Sungjoong. Spelling doom. Tiggleton trying to heal through this blue and get into that 8th place spot if possible.
Oh!
He gets the knock on to Sungjoong. They lose track of possibilities. Is Tig going to be able to get the heal off in time? No, they aren't able to get any placement points.
But that's also the scary thing about VP is they just need 10 points and they just need a win, and they could literally end this tournament in 2 games.
Yeah.